I'm a big Steam fan. I don't use the Epic Game Store. When the Epic Game Store first came out and they were like, we're going to give away all these games. Sure enough, every single time that they gave out those games, I would turn on the Epic Game Store launcher, I would claim the free game, then I would close the Epic Game Store launcher, and I would not launch it again until the next time that they would offer free games. I basically never really played. I think there was like 2 games that I think I actually tried to actually play. But before, other than that, I was just claiming free games. Well, now they're trying to do some different things to try and convince people to, use their store and their launcher. And so they're going to start overhauling the way that they do things. And I think that they're doing something that is very interesting. I don't think it's going to convince me to play it or to use it, but maybe it will for some other people. Maybe it will for a lot of people, because it depends on Fortnite, which is one of the most popular, one of the most popular games of all time. Sorry about that. So here's what it says. Epic Game Store. You know what, Rich? Can you read this? I got to get a drink.
Yeah, I got you. Epic Game Store. Epic Game Store is getting a complete architecture rebuild launching summer 2026 to improve performance and stability, while introducing a new program where players who buy select third-party games get exclusive Fortnite cosmetics. Launch partners include Capcom, MiHoYo, Pearl Abyss, and others, with 40 games in 2026 offering Fortnite items as purchase bonuses. That is a lot. I don't know what to make of this, right? Like, I am very interested in the architecture rebuild, and like they mentioned making the client, more the launcher itself, have faster load times, better stability, have it be more responsive, and also introduce like text chat and voice chat and things like that. I don't know how much of that is already there for Epic Game Store, but I know that a lot of people, will say that you want to compete with Steam, you have to start to get closer to feature parity. So I think that's what they're aiming for, but it's definitely kind of putting your money where your mouth is. What do you think, Carrie?
So there's a bit more to that, and so there's a follow-on to that Bill has in the show notes, and that's with Epic Game Store's plan for the next Xbox as well, and the integration with that. And I have to wonder if this isn't one and the same somewhere in there. I do think that overall it needed to be done on the PC side, but there's a part of me that wonders if Microsoft has some integration layer for the Xbox side where Epic could more seamlessly work in whatever that they're going to be doing. And maybe Valve knows about this as well, for them to integrate Steam into this thing as well, especially GOG and all the other ones. So I don't know how far that part's into it or how relevant this news is. I do think generally it is good, and I do agree with you about putting their money where their mouth is, and it's something that they do need to address, because there's a lot of shortcomings when it comes to the Epic Game Store insofar as feature parity of what's going on in Steam. Then there's just what Steam offers that's not really so much built into the client, but just features that they have, like the Steam community, then you have Workshop, which is integrated into Steam, but then you also have like Remote Play. I guess there is a bunch that it actually Steam has that's built into the client that Epic really just needs to start doing. It'll be interesting if the integration layer that they have with Microsoft kind of facilitates that or not.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, so you say putting their money where their mouth is. They've been putting their money where their mouth is for a really long time. They just haven't putting any like effort where their mouth is. You know what I mean? What were you going to say, Russ?
I just, my own 2 cents on it is, the integration of Xbox will be really interesting for me, because I want to be able to play Epic Game Store games without having to deal with Epic Game Store. So if I can play those on my Xbox, like all those free games. Bill, as you were talking, I don't know if you guys saw me, but I was talking to Siri, and I said, Siri, remind me every week to check the Epic Game Store, because I always forget, right? And I was like, all right, every Monday now it's going to say, hey, go to the website and grab a free game if it's something that's interesting, right? And so that's kind of my level of Epic Game Store-ishness right now. And so I'm hoping that this integration with Xbox will do a really cool just open up my backlog even more to be able to play all those games that I've saved over the years. But my other thought is that, is this drawing a line in the sand? Like, is Steam also going to have this integration with the next Xbox, or are we getting like a real straight up like Xbox and Epic versus Steam and themselves only? You know what I mean? Like, what kind of line are we drawing here? Are we getting another console competitor, so to speak, with Xbox not aligning with Steam? Because I feel like if they aligned with Steam, it would just open up a whole nother world for Xbox. And so that's my big thing here, is like, it's really cool that Epic Game Store is integrating into Xbox. It's going to make it so I can play these games more. But I hope it's just a first step in terms of integrations.
So I have two things I kind of want to bring up, which one of them, it relates to, Russ, your habit, like the Siri thing that you're doing. Because you mentioned last time, right? Like once a month you go to Amazon and you check the games there and you recommend that people do that. And like, this was actually me like 5 years ago, where I did exactly that. Every week I had a reminder. I would come in, I would check my free games. I would load them up, like not install them, but I would go to Play Night, the Windows game launcher, and add them to my library there. I would tag them and stuff like that. And then I still didn't play them until now I just gave up. So I've lost probably 3 or 4 years of free games on Epic and Amazon. So don't be like me, I suppose. But yeah, I wonder how other people are with that. But go ahead, Bill.
No, you go.
Well, the thing with the Epic Game Store is like, now we have mentioned a couple times, once on this podcast, but then in the group chat, that like, I don't know, you guys seem to think that the Epic Game Store integration into Xbox is going to be like impressive. Maybe that's too strong of a word, no. But like, I can't, this is me being cynical and I understand that. I can't picture it not being worse than, I can't picture not being disappointed is what I'm trying to say. And so like, I wonder, what is it that like would be a good integration of Epic Game Store into Xbox? What would make a good integration?
Okay, I have an answer for that. What will be Carrie, you're muted.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You go first, Bill.
Oh, okay. So what will be a good integration? Well, number one, we're not going to have a good integration. All right.
Fair.
But what would be a good integration? If I could buy the games on the Epic Game Store or on the Xbox Store or on Steam, and no matter where I buy them, they're just in my library as like, just like as if I added a non-Steam game to Steam. It just is sitting there, and to for all intents and purposes, it's the same thing. It doesn't matter where you bought it. That would be a good integration. What we're going to get instead is exactly what we got on the Xbox Ally X. When you bring up the little menu by hitting the command center button or whatever, it's going to say, do you want to install Steam? Do you want to install that? And it's just going to look kind of crappy. And when you go to launch that game, it's going to launch the Epic Game Store. There's going to be a little pop-up. Then you'll have to close it somehow. And then you finally get into the game. That's what it's actually going to be.
So if that's the case, then that's all. Like, that is the cynical route. Is and I'm not even saying like that's not a possibility. That is a strong possibility that is what happens. If that is what happens, that's going to be a bit of a train wreck. Pretty bad. But yeah, so the idea would be, imagine it's like, SteamOS, right? Where you just click on a game, and when you say click on the game, it just has this little drop down things like, which one, you own it here, which one do you want, or you don't own this anywhere, which one do you want to buy it from? And you're not jumping to their store, you're just, Microsoft is hooking into those stores to buy through those things in a effortless way, as well as downloading from those places in an effortless way. It's saying like, you own this game, here's where you own it. You can buy it here, but you can install it from here because you already own it. I think that's like, I think Microsoft, especially the Xbox group, if this is their idea of where they want to get to, I think that's what they recognize. And I think a lot of people have said, we've all said this, so it's not like this is like not known to them. I just, if they can get to that point, then that would be awesome. But if it's just what it already is now, then
yeah, there's precedent for that actually. On my Apple TV, if I search for a movie, it'll say you could get it on Amazon, or you can watch it on Netflix, or you can watch it on HBO, or you can buy it on Apple. Like, I have all of these options for how I can get to that stuff. So the idea of me going into the store on an Xbox and saying I want to buy Expedition 32, the next one, then it's going to say
34.
No,
it goes
definitely
the other
32.
way, buddy.
Yeah,
it's
definitely
32. You got to play that game, buddy.
Oh, yes, I do. All right.
Right.
Oh, man, spoiler.
Well,
Jeez.
no, sorry. Whatever. I click on that button, and if it has like the places where I can buy it, and it has the prices right next to it, that would be amazing. I wouldn't even have to go like window shopping. I could just say, "Oh yeah, hell yes, let me get it there. It's $2 cheaper." That would be awesome.
Right. Yeah, this is that's like also like Android calls this their intent system. Basically every application could expose itself to an intent, and if you like hold your finger on an application and it's like copy, you can say copy, and it's like, "Oh, these are the applications that you can copy to. These are the applications that can take that thing," and it's their intent system. And I do recall Apple's thing, even though their input method is the most atrocious thing ever. It's like, how do we make this the worst thing ever so that people only use their voice for entry? Because that, when you have that sliding row of characters on the Apple TV.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
it's bad.
you can change that.
Oh,
you can
I
make
only
it a
use my
grid.
brothers. I'm like, yeah, I was like, oh, this is just let me
Awful.
speak. But yeah, one thing I did like is that when you search, the search has that intent system where it goes and can drill into the applications and can go into Plex and can go into everything, and it'll use the search function inside of all of those without having to go into the application to start fetching that data out. And that level of integration is where Microsoft really needs to get this to for their game side.
All right. Anybody else have final thoughts? I don't remember who got a chance to talk about this before.
I will just say, as far as like the interface and stuff, I don't even care if it's ugly and sucks. If it can let me play my Steam games on my Xbox, I'm happy. That's all I want. Just give me that.
Even if it
integration.
has to launch Steam when you launch that game.
I can live with that. Absolutely.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Yeah, that's the other thing I want to mention. It would be awesome if discs worked. I bought this today. It's $5.
I think.
If
Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, like because no one buys any games on Xbox, all of the games are outrageously inexpensive. So if you were looking to buy games cheap, they're crazy cheap at GameStop.
I do think that's the thing, right? It's not that in my mind. It's not that your Steam games will be playable on an Xbox. It's that Xbox games will be playable on your PC.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That is like, I think what we all really cared and wanted. Hopefully they get there. All of this is still up in the air. There's so many rumors and speculation. We did get that Stephen Totilo thing about the Epic game launcher integrating into the next Xbox, which is now cementing this hybrid PC. But there has to be a way for old Xbox stuff to run on this, and everyone's old Xbox library to just play. So fingers crossed that some way, somehow, discs work on this as well. So here's hoping.
Go ahead, Rich.
I was going to say, maybe asking a lot, but if I can play my Jet Set Radio Future and my Ninja Gaiden Black discs on my PC, I will go crazy. Legit. Yeah.
If it doesn't play the discs, it's not an Xbox. That's how I feel about it.
That's
and it's
fair.
the same,
Okay.
because that's the thing that Microsoft has been saying for years. Are you backwards compatible? You can play all your old stuff. Well, if suddenly you can't, that means that they're abandoning the backwards compatibility, and that seems like a slap in the face to their biggest fans, the people who've been with them the longest. And this does not affect me at all because I have 0 disked Xbox games.
Would you be opposed to the add-on disc extra cost thing to accomplish this?
No, that'd be perfectly fine. In fact,
Okay.
I think that's preferable. You sell it at a lower cost without the disc. And then for the people who actually want that, because I don't want it, I'm not going to go out and buy it. Then the people who want it can go buy it. Just make sure it's friggin' available, unlike with the PlayStation, where nobody can ever find the disc drive.
It's like, and once you do get it, it's tied to it forever.
Right? Yeah, that's true too.
My only request is that it looks like the old HD DVD player that they had for the Xbox 360.
That would be sick.
And it comes with a copy of King Kong, like that one did. Like that would be awesome.
Perfect.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Well, you know what? Let us know what you guys think in the comments section. You know, Epic is overhauling their software. They plan on being on the next Xbox. Will this convince you to use the Epic Game Store, or will you just continue to download or claim the free games and never ever play them? I will say this last part. We kind of dog on the Epic Game Store on the show a lot. We dog on Xbox a lot, and that's because we want them to get better, to offer competition to PlayStation and Steam and Nintendo, and just we want more competition, because more competition is always good. But let us know what you guys think in the comments section down below.